Joe, Iowa State, West Virginia this weekend. Iowa State looking like a potential playoff team because of obviously the new automatic qualifiers. They look like a team that can really compete here in the Big 12. They got a great win against Iowa a couple of weeks ago, where West Virginia has been struggling a little bit out of the gate here. How do you see this game going?
First of all, you definitely have to give West Virginia credit for being a very loud and difficult place to play when they're hosting games at home. This game is at night, so it's going to be popping. It's going to be super jacked up for this opportunity to knock off a top-ranked team and then to return to the Big 12 championship conversation, because this conference is one of the few that is still wide open with as many as 5-6 teams. However, I really think that Iowa State wins this football game. West Virginia this year has been very effective at running the football. One of the best rushing offenses in the country, averaging 223 yards per game. They've been very, very strong on the ground. I think that Iowa State's defensive performance, more importantly, their front seven, is good enough to stifle West Virginia's rushing attack. Now, I know that there's an injury to Kyle Brazina, who is one of the young budding stars at linebacker for this team. Cooper Abel has been super productive for them as well, who's a sophomore. If Brazina plays, I think that's a huge boost. But their D-line is nasty and it's deep. J.R. Singleton, Dominic Orange is the name to know just in draft circles. There are a lot of different bodies that they rotate and incorporate. Iowa State's success this year has come from the defensive performance. And then on the flip side of things, I love how this offense is operating. They have two fantastic receivers, Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. So I think if they need a quick drive, they need to get back into it just like they did against Iowa. They can open the game back up whenever they need to. So I'm taking Iowa State. I feel pretty good about that pick.
I'm going to tell you this. I know that statistically West Virginia looks good running the football. They actually haven't been bad running the football, but they had 389 rushing yards last week. That vastly skews those numbers. Okay,
against a really, really shit Oklahoma State defense that I've been calling out.
Very bad Oklahoma State defense, especially run defense. With that being said, I'm not going with that. Joe, here's the truth. Iowa State is 5th in the country in pass defense. Oh, wait, hold on. Isn't there something that I'm forgetting here? Oh, that's right, because the last time I talked about West Virginia, I had a whole bunch of dumbasses coming at me saying Blake was wrong about Garrett Green. Joe, I'm going to read you off some numbers here very quickly.
Please do. Please do. Read them.
Myself, and I'm putting it up on our channel. Garrett Green, 53, 53, 50, and 60. Joe, do you want to know what that is?
What is it, Blake?
It's his completion percentage against Power 4 opponents this year. And it's interesting because I said if West Virginia wants to take the next step of the team that they wanted to be under Neil Brown, it comes down to, we know you can run the football. You got to get the ball down the field because defensively, you might not be that team. And then when I said that, our secondary is really good. Oh, really? Your secondary is really good.
Really bad. Wait, they gave up before you jump in here. So their numbers are improved because of them kicking the crap out of Alan Bowman. So they're a little bit deflated. They gave up 300 yards to Albany's quarterback. Now, they've made some changes to their the way that their defensive coordinator is, this whole thing where he moved up to the booth. I was reading an article today, but still, they gave up that many yards to Albany. Are you kidding me? Noel and Higgins are going to have a big game.
Who said that exact thing about them in the preseason?
You did. I should have given you more credit.
Okay. I mean, my barometer for West Virginia is ding, 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 ding. It is, dude, they are not. I'm telling you, they are not a good football team. They're just not. They're going to get out-coached. They're going to get outplayed. So many different things I can say about them. I don't hate West Virginia. The best coach that I've ever had for my own favorite team came from West Virginia, along with the freaking OC that you want to hire. Joe, they want Jimbo Fisher. I digress in all of that. Listen, Iowa State's pass defense has been borderline elite. That's the reason why they're 5th in the country in passing defense. Now, have they played anybody that can stress them? No, not really. I mean, but they face some really speedy receivers, some big-bodied receivers, and, Joe, they've taken everybody to the woodshed. I'm a Rocco Becht fan. I think the kid's going to go in there and throw all over him.
He's been extremely – it's polar opposites. He's been extremely efficient. He's completing 65% of his passes. He's got a 9-3 touchdown interception ratio. He has been the epitome of consistency compared to the.
And look what he did on the last drive. West
Yeah.
Virginia fans, before you clip this and you put it on your small little channel and never respond to us again, all I want to tell you is this. I've talked about this at a high level. You have not. You do not have a quarterback that can lead you to wins over teams like this. Now, can they upset them? Can Iowa State go in there and crap down their pants? 100%. But you're not a good football team. You're already planning on firing your head coach. So
Right.
who was right in this whole scenario? You
So
want freaking Jimbo Fisher. Tell me Joe, they're so unserious about football that they want to hire Jimbo Fisher as their head coach.
Hey man, he's the hometown kid. You gotta give him the shit. Okay, to what you just talked about though with the upset, that is very true. One thing we have learned after 6 weeks of football going into week 7 is that an upset can happen at any time when you're playing on the road. Like it's been more capably possible than any other year. So yes, it is possible, but I've got a pretty heavy lean here. I'm going to go as far as say I think 70% chance that Iowa State wins this football game.
I'm going to go even crazier. I'm going to put a 98% chance.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I can't hate that. They're going to be so pissed at us. Because last time I at least defended them, so you and I were having a debate, and then they kind of, they were going back and forth on like who they agreed with.
Dude, they were attacking my children.
Oh, they're going to hate us this week.
Here's the thing. You can say and do whatever you want about me. Here's the truth. Leave my kids out of it. All right.
Yeah.
But look, in reference to the game, getting into it, so if Iowa State continues to win here, Joe, we haven't talked about them, but we got to keep our eyes on these Big 12 teams, man. I mean, are we on a showdown with them in Colorado? Is that where the Big 12 is? I mean, Utah's still out there.
BYU, Utah is still in there too. There are like legitimately 5 teams that we could. Kansas State, even if they lose this weekend, are still in the conversation. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Is the Big 12 going to be the funnest conference down the stretch here?
I think it will be. I am rooting for an 8-4 Big 12 team to get into the playoff so that you'll get pissed off. I'm rooting for that.
Why would you say that?
I think it'll be funny.
It won't be funny.
It will be because it doesn't matter. It
does matter.
It
does matter
does
because
matter,
here's the scenario. Look, here's the scenario that could be playing out in real life. Okay, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole yet again with you, but there is I warned everybody about this. There is a legitimate chance that 2 teams that get a bye, potentially UNLV, Liberty, and the Big 12 champion, Joe, they have no business.
The G5 team will never get a bye. I'm promising you that right now. They will not get a bye unless it's like a Cincinnati type team, but we don't have one of those this year.
Fair. I went too far.
Yeah.
But regardless, you have a Big 12 team that's going to get there at 4, and then the next week they get to play Georgia. Good luck. That's not fair to Georgia, who's got to play. Joe, by the way, there's a strong chance that Georgia can be 1-1 against the number 1 team in the country twice this year. Like, there's a strong possibility, and you're going to tell me that one of these teams out of the Big 12 deserves to get an automatic bye. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I still think it means something to win your conference.
No, it's not.
Well, they're going to get their asses kicked. Yes, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just
take Georgia completely out of the equation.
Wait, hold on one second. The argument that you and I have had has never been me saying that they deserve the bye. It's been me saying that they deserve a bid. They deserve to get into the bracket.
We're at. But again, regardless of what our debate is, getting to the reality of this.
Yeah.
Joe, could you imagine? Let's just say Colorado loses 1 or 2 more, but wins the conference. Colorado has no business being in there with let's call it what it is. If any of our top 10 teams from our power rankings making the playoff, Colorado has no business being above them in any of them. Like, think about this. You would have to put them over Oregon. You would have to put them over what might be the third or fourth best team in the SEC at the current moment as we sit in it would be Bama.
I'd put one of those teams in there over Notre Dame. I'd put one of those Big 12 teams in there over Notre Dame.